That's going to be such an awkward introduction and entrance, but well, I've done it now. So, welcome back to another writing vlog from yours truly. And this one is going to be a little bit different because, as you may have heard from my previous vlog, I am now back to work after that full week off that I was able to have for a stay-at-home writing retreat. So my writing ability is going to be lessened now due to the fact that I can only do writing either very early in the morning if I get up early, which this is me, there is no chance of that happening. It is my lunch break on this fine Thursday afternoon, and I'm prepping some things during my lunch break for this evening when I'm able to start getting into writing because, well, I may not have a full day of writing ahead of me because of work. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to be able to get a lot done because, as everyone knows, I don't know when to stop. So what I'm hoping to do and planning to do basically in these coming days is, as you've heard in the previous vlog, I'm working on a YA fantasy at the moment. So I'm hoping over the next coming days to finish up the entire synopsis for this first book, which is something that I'm kind of struggling with. I've basically got the whole idea down. The only thing that I can't figure out is why. And that's like the most important thing, is figuring out why it's happening. And as well as I kind of guess, okay, the five, is it the 5 W's or the why, where, what, when, oh, and how. The 4 W's and the 1 H. I'm embarrassed. It is 5 W's. I missed out the who. So the 5 W's and the 1 H. I have a degree in creative writing. How did I manage to mess that up? I basically, and those are really important to a story, which is what makes it even more difficult. So I know the plot. I know how it's going to work. I just need to figure out how they're going to get there, why these things are happening. I kind of have the why. Where it happens, basically the how is the main thing. I really should have planned this out before doing this discussion point here, but the how is the issue that I'm coming up with the narrative, because I really don't know how I'm going to get my characters into the narrative and how they're going to get from A to B to finale sort of situation. So hopefully I'll be able to figure this out in the next coming days, and then hopefully when that's sorted I'll be able to speak to the people that I'm working with for this YA fantasy and see basically kind of what they think. They already seem really interested, and yes, I know last time I said I was going to check to see if I could talk about it. I still haven't done it. I will try to, maybe I should message them like after this. Anyway, but yeah, that's basically kind of what I'm planning to work on, as well as continuing the revisions for the book 1, Home to the Wild of the Into the Wild series, particularly finishing up Act 1. I've gotten pretty far with that in the past couple of days since the previous vlog, but not as much because full-time work takes more responsibility, as well as getting back to the gym, which is great. But yeah, I'm going to document this journey, and then hopefully when this finishes and when this goes up next Wednesday, I'll have finished Act 1 for the revisions, and I will have the entire synopsis sorted. Now I'm nervous. Alright, so it's time to get into some writing. Please ignore the fact that my father is in the jacuzzi in the background. My window is open and I can hear it very loudly, but hopefully you can't. And if you can, please try and ignore it. So I am obviously finished with work now. I've had my dinner. I'm raring to dive into writing. I popped out for a little bit of a walk before having my dinner and before all of this to go get some hand-in prescriptions to my pharmacy. And whilst out on this walk, I had a storyline epiphany. I think I know how I'm going to sort out this synopsis for this YA fantasy. By the way, have checked. Can't really, I've been told I can't say anything. I can only say it's a YA fantasy. I can say nothing more. So, you know, full confirmation now. But yes, for this YA fantasy, I now have the storyline. I think at least the basis of this worked out for how it's going to go. I've worked out some aspects within the storyline for character growth and character relationships as well, which is always good. And yeah, it should be hopefully an interesting sort of hero's journey situation. There's quite a lot of, well, I would say quite a lot of YA. That's YA fantasy, yeah, I think I need to read more YA fantasy. I think it's been a while since I've read some, and I don't think fan fiction counts. because I guess they're technically not YA. Anyway, so yes, I'm going to be getting into some writing this evening, mainly working on that storyline. Revisions will probably happen this weekend, but for now, let's go. Happy Saturday, everyone. So clearly, obviously, skipped a day. I didn't really do anything on Friday. I was originally planning to, so I'd actually filmed a small segment, but I ended up literally not doing anything, even though I said I was going to, because I had a full work day, and then I went to the gym, and I worked a bit too hard out at the gym, so I ended up not being able to do anything. So just restarting with this for Saturday. So today, doing a lot, which is always good. So I'm actually close to finishing the synopsis for the YA fantasy that I'm working on, and then hopefully when I get that approved, I'll be able to actually start writing. I probably won't admittedly start writing until maybe like next week, but you know, thought I'd put this here anyway. I just realised actually I've been calling it a synopsis, but I think technically it's an outline, because a synopsis is like, it is the overview of the book, but not as in like too much detail, whereas an outline, I think, is it an outline or an overview? But it's like, what I'm doing is like, it's so much detail, like everything is written out in a sense of what needs to be included, when, where, how, etc. So maybe it's an outline.
Oh my god, who the hell cares?
I'll call it an outline. But yes, so I've nearly finished the outline for this YA fantasy now. Oh my god, the ground is hot. Sorry, it's really warm out, and as everyone knows, I'm allergic to, you know, heat. So this is kind of killing me a little bit. But yeah, so I hopefully finishing the outline today. That is my one goal for today, is finishing this outline. And then I'll be sending it off to the people that I'm working with to get that approved, and then hopefully start working on actually writing it next week, which obviously I'll document in the next vlog. But once the overview is finished, the next thing I'm planning to do is start working again on revising Act 1 to Sequence 1 and 2 of Home to the Wild. That is like the next main goal that I'm working on. I want to be able to finish that by this weekend, if I'm honest. Or at least by Monday, Tuesday, so the day before this vlog will go up, and I will let you know if I have. But I want to be able to, for next weekend, start working on Act 2 for Home to the Wild. So we'll see how that goes, but that is my goal for this weekend and for the next couple of days, so we'll see how it goes. It's a heat wave in the UK this weekend, so I'm going to die slowly, so enjoy that as well. And I have finished the overview today. Oh my god. Can't believe I finished it. Feels rather surreal. I just need to basically get it approved. Main things I actually need to work on now for the YA fantasy is inputting like the world building information for it. There's a huge section on like the story bible that I've been working on for that, and I basically know what I want to do for the world building anyway, so that'll be, you know, done lickety split basically. And yeah, oh my gosh, that's wild. I think this is only like 2 weeks in the making basically, and like it's all plotted out, world's built, characters are created, all these sorts of things. Oh my gosh, it's kind of weird. But oh my god, I'm just thrilled that I've basically gotten the storyline overview, whatever I want to call it, sorted and done. And now, well, today I'm actually going to stop for a little while because I don't know if you can tell, like I'm like literally burning up from the heat. I'm struggling a lot in this weather. I do have a podcast recording in about an hour as well, so I need to find a way to cool myself down before that, because when I get very excited I get warmer. I'm like really flushed, oh my gosh. But yeah, tomorrow it will be back to revising Home to the Wild. So amazing. Hi everyone, so it is Sunday today, and so it is a new day for writing. As you can tell, I've just come back from the gym. Well, I say come back, I'm still in the car. Me and my mum are on the way to Tesco's to get the weekly shop for the fam. I hate that I just said fam, I regret that quite a bit now. But it is another heat wave, so that's why I look like I'm dying. I realise I look slightly tanned, but it's more just probably the beginnings of heat stroke, because that is something that I've actually managed to get just being indoors. Heat stroke, I know it's probably some kind of like freak situation. I don't know how that's possible, but that's besides the point. So yes, writing today. As you know, I finished the synopsis outline situation for the YA fantasy yesterday, which is freaking amazing. I'm going to send that off to, well, I need to finish the world building section from that first before I send it to the people that I'm working with. But then when that's finished, I'll be able to send that out and hopefully get it approved. But today the situation is getting the revisions for Act 1 of Home to the Wild finished, or at least close to finished, and then finish it tomorrow when I finish work for the day. But that's what's going on. We're moving now to the Tesco's shop situation. It's a pick up and collect thing for, you know, COVID. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about everything that's moving. Well, everything's moving forward, and it's only been a couple of days, so I'm feeling pretty proud with my work so far. Just looking at the moment as well for some like literary magazines to submit some work to kind of get some more stuff on the resume. And yeah, so I'll update when that goes on. Peace. So, I'm dying. It is so hot. It's 32 degrees Celsius in the UK, which I think is like 85 degrees Fahrenheit for people who use Fahrenheit. And it's really, like, I'm struggling so much. My computer is overheating, so putting my hands on it to type is actually burning my hands. I've done some revisions today. I ended up doing more world building for the YA fantasy than revisions today because I got some inspiration for the world building. Because that happens. It's productive procrastination. That's what I have. But yeah, so I don't think I'm going to get much done until probably it cools down later today. So we'll see how that goes. If not, it will probably be tomorrow evening where I'm able to do more. God, this weather. Apologies for the very, very poor lighting. It is 9 o'clock at night. I was planning to watch a bunch of K-dramas before going to sleep because it's too hot to do anything, but it's so hot that my TV and my laptop are having a meltdown, so I can't put on Netflix. So I'm going to be doing some research for the YA Fantasy, going through some of the books that I have for it, and just kind of plotting things, well, not plotting things out, getting information for the world building and some of the character building as well. I'm probably, if I can figure out how to, gonna have to like blur out the cover if the cover faces this way, but maybe I won't need to. We'll see what happens. But book research, here we go. Hello people, it is Monday, and as you can tell by my dishevelled look, it is still hot and it is a Monday, so my day is not being great. The heat has literally been getting to me so much, so it is like nearly 9 o'clock tonight and I'm finally going to get started on some kind of writing work. It's not going to be much because I'm literally struggling just to do basic human things like breathing in this weather currently. So the only thing that I know that I am doing this night, whatever this is having a meeting with the people that I'm working with for the YA Fantasy, just to discuss like the outline and stuff. There are changes that I've put into it since kind of finishing it, that I need to kind of put into where the outline is. It's like outlined elsewhere to do with some of the creatures and characters that we meet, but it's not in the actual outline, so I need to do that. But I'm looking forward to the meeting and kind of getting some feedback on what they think of the story. Other than that, depending on how I do, there will be some revisions as well for Home to the Wild. That's going pretty well. I've nearly finished sequence 1 as a whole. There are just some things where I need to like include a few things, remove one character that kind of wasn't really important as a character, include a character that is important later so they feature a little bit more. And yeah, so hopefully I will actually have sequence 1 finished today. It's not act 1, but it's still something, so that's, you know, that's good enough. I think I'll probably actually, depending, I may do like a finishing up tomorrow, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get any more done this week because the heat wave is not ending until Friday, so I'm going to be dying every day till then. So we'll see how everything goes. Please ignore the fan. So, it is Tuesday and this is going to be the last day of this writing vlog. I'm basically going to plan to do like one of these every week now and release them out on Wednesdays, just because, well, there's so much happening at the moment that it just kind of makes sense to document my journey with it. But good news, had my meeting for the YA Fantasy last night, and they love the outline. They do have some things that I need to work on, mainly in terms of working out like the specifics of the character arc and the story arc. The main big thing is kind of getting the climax sorted for the main narrative, which I think I do have now, which is very tied to the arc of the main character. But yeah, so I've got my action points, I've got those listed out. That is what I'm going to be working on tonight. Well, we'll see actually. It may be later this week if I'm honest, because the weather is insane. I'm actually feeling a bit sick because of the weather. So we'll see how that goes and where that's going. But yeah, it's just, oh my god, I love working with other people when it comes to my writing, because I get so much more ideas. I get so many more ideas and ways to fix what's happening with the story through the help of others than I do just doing it by myself. Which is why when I got beta readers for Home to the Wild, it was so useful, because I know exactly how to improve the story now. Even with my cover designer, there was something that my cover designer mentioned for the art that I'm doing, the art that I'm getting done for the cover. Just one comment that they got from that they gave towards that gave me an idea as to what I need to include with this character in it as well. So it was there's just so much, and I just love working with other people. I think that's the main thing when it comes to writing. But yeah, so basically things are going well. Need to just update the outline for the YA fantasy, add some additional stuff for the world building. I've kind of got the basics of everything. I just need to add some more as to the descriptions, how the world works, all these sort of things, and add some additional things for other locations as well. And then just revising for Home to the Wild. I wanted to finish Act 1 this week. Unfortunately, it may happen this weekend in the next writing vlog, but it's just too hot at the moment, and I'm just really struggling to kind of actually just stay for a long period of time on my home laptop. I have to on my work laptop, which is obviously a situation. I'm on my lunch break at the moment, so that I kind of have to put up with. But yeah, it'll be this weekend, because this is when the heat wave calms down. But until then, my action points to work on and what I'll be discussing in next week's vlog: finishing up the storyline for the YA fantasy and making sure that the climax points of the narrative are hit, as well as sorting out the character arc and kind of make it more solid, as well as finishing the revisions for Act 1 of Home to the Wild. And if I'm able to finish those, probably start the full plotting for another story that I'm working on, which is a romantic drama, and probably also get writing on that. The story's basically finished. I've started working on one of the sequences for it right now, but just need to finalize some things and get going on that, because that is the book that I want to finish so I can take it to a literary agent, hopefully by the end of this year. We shall see. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.